Okay, I am back. I'm hoping everything is working now. So, ready for the good rise. Let's see. Everybody was here. Everybody was here, and then I was glitching. Um, hasn't started yet. Yeah, you guys. Yeah, I think I'm hooked. I think I'm hooked back up. I'm not sure. I think, yeah, I think, I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Um, but I had to do everything. I had to do everything. So, I'm glad you guys are still here. So, I wanted to, there's a few things I wanted to get to. Let's get right to the opening, so we can all, get connected. I hope we're all connected. And I see Jenna and Ezra and Ghana, and Jolene and Contentment John and Duke of Squirrels. So let's get going with this.
Hello?
Hello.
Okay, so I think I got everything going. I got my mic is working again. The sound, it sounds better. Everything's good. I think we're ready to go. Absolutely. We got Fake Human. Thanks for being here. Snot Ananda. Snot Ananda getting down. So let's see. Where do I wanna begin? I don't know. This guy's still a Dreamer Pod. So Dreamer Pod.
He didn't have that dream. I did.
He had a dream. Okay, he had a dream. He admits that he had a dream. I want to get right into this because this is good. This is good, and this is Knitting Cult Lady. Like I always start off, Knitting Cult Lady, so we can get the cult stuff going because people got to learn that they're in a cult. And like Ghana said the other night, it takes intelligence to learn that you're in a cult. It takes a lot of intelligence to learn. These people think like, you just woke up after 20 years. Yeah. You haven't woken up at all. I don't know what you're talking about, trying to make fun of us. Like, yeah, that's how cults work. See, it takes, he had a dream. Yeah, he had the dream, man. I'm telling you, is
He didn't have that dream. I did.
he did have that dream. I didn't have that dream. He did. He had that dream. So, because he had that dream, that makes him special. It makes him like a holy man. It makes him a God man. And that's what all of these guys are just like that. Jim Jones, David Koresh, Reverend Moon, you name it. They've all had that dream. They all had that dream. They think that they are something special. Here, let me and not only it's not just intelligence because obviously Harvard dumbass Goswami can go to Harvard, but he still can't figure out he's in a cult. He can't figure it out. He went to Harvard, a place that produces lawyers, attorneys, senators, congressmen, presidents. He can't figure out. Ain't 5,000-year-old nothing. But not only is it him, but people that believe these people. They want him to be God. They want him to be a God man. They want him to be holy. They want him to be something special. They're following him. They're just as invested. Here, so one thing they got to do, they got to become godlike.
So we have more ridiculous White House shenanigans taking place as Paula White, Donald Trump's spiritual advisor, compares him to Jesus, and Pete Hegseth talks about sending Iran back to the Stone Age, even though there's no military plan that shows them winning right now. Donald Trump being compared to Jesus, of course, this is not the first time, but it is rather significant. With every cult leader, there is something called the process of deification. Did I write a book about it? I did, y'all. I did. And the process of deification is a cult leader becoming a god to their people. And of course, we have been seeing this play out throughout Donald Trump's presidency. One aspect of deification has to do with being saved, even in secular form. If a religious leader or army general or startup CEO or wellness influencer or president is riding in on a white horse to save us from hell or terrorists or the toxic byproducts and existential disappointments of the modern age, then we can put our faith in them, ultimately unburdening ourselves of both the responsibility of having to take action and the discomfort of uncertainty.
Yeah, I could just put my faith, I could just believe in this God man, go live on his farm project somewhere in India. I don't have to think about anything, I don't have any responsibilities. I'll just follow this guy because I think he's God. So therefore, I don't have any responsibility, I don't have to do anything. So that's one aspect, that's one advantage of getting one of these freaky ass gurus. Is that I'm done. I don't have to worry about anything. I don't have to. Like they say, my material life is over. Right? My material life is over. I'm getting the dust from the lotus feet of the pure devotee guru.
In chaotic times, their sureness and clear picture of the path forward are a relief, even if what we are moving toward is a kind of apocalypse. One of Pete Kegsbrett's favorite words. At least we know what to expect. Culty leaders thrive on this kind of teleological thinking. Approaching the future as though the outcome is already decided, whether in religions, culture, work, or political viewpoints. We talk more about teleology in chapter 10. And here's the thing. With deification well underway, which we already have with Donald Trump, of course, his people treating him as though he were a god, the cult leader turns their attention to blurring the line between themselves and any god figure they have initially claimed to be speaking for, right? Donald Trump's base is a huge amount of evangelical Christians, Catholics, and Mormons. All of them believe in a god, and all of them should find it absolutely blasphemous to be having Donald Trump compared to a god. But not so, because they are merging the two, as it goes in a cult, right? In The Children of God, David Berg said his revelations and the words of the Bible were of equal importance. You can read.
Yeah, absolutely. She's no different. She's no different than anybody else. She's no different than me. She's no different than me, just that she wrote a book. She went to Harvard. I haven't been to Harvard. I haven't written any books. So just like people would say that about me, a lot of a lot of professionals would say, Mike, he ain't got no credentials. He's not psychologically stable. He was in a cult, so who's he to be talking? He's damaged. They would talk a lot of shit about me, and I would expect them to, because they would be right. They would be absolutely right. So yeah, I don't, just like Gora Hari was saying, oh, knitting cult lady is Mike's guru. No, she's not my guru. She just knows more about cults than I do. And she's written some books about cults. And a lot of the stuff that she says, I agree with. But is she some, I don't know, whatever? No, I don't care. I mean, just like any other videos that I show,
About that guy in my best-selling memoir, Uncultured. While David Koresh told his followers he was the Messiah come anew, Sarah Edmondson, one of the whistleblowers of NXIVM, tells us in her book Scarred, The True Story of How I Escaped NXIVM, the cult that bound my life, that Keith Raniere's teachings were making us disciples. He wanted us to worship him. Raniere bragged to his followers that he'd even had people killed for his beliefs. Meanwhile, in a campaign rally in early 2016, Donald Trump declared his godlike status to Americans when he bragged that he could shoot a man on Fifth Avenue and his followers would still vote for him. The New York Times, in its review of The Cult of WeWork, Adam Newman and the Great Startup Delusion, says, or the definitive insider account of WeWork, called Adam Newman a startup demagogue who aspired to be a demigod, but got hamstrung by his ego and greed. The leader may also claim some actual godlike powers, like Jim Jones staging miracle healings, various New Age channelers talking with the universal spirit, or sometimes aliens, or accessing the cosmic library of the Akashic records, or Elizabeth Holmes perpetuating tales of medical miracles from her cunningly fake technology. And so we see the cult leader's whole goal is to ultimately replace whatever God figure they've claimed to be speaking for. And oh, Donnie is getting to that point, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't want this. I want to focus on what she had to say about the deification of the cult leader, how Prabhupada became this godlike figure, and all these other little gurus also are like little Prabhupads, and the process of that, and every cult leader goes through it. Every cult leader goes through it. I hope Eliana is doing good. Health-wise, I hope she's doing good. I hope everything's good. And I agree. Like, I would imagine that just about any healthcare professional, no matter who they are, what they're saying, whether it's mental health or physical health, if they get on the internet and they start giving their opinion or their views and say, I wrote this book, and this is my views on autism, or this is my views on anything, you're going to get other healthcare professionals that are going to be critical and say, well, that's not professional and that's not this or that. So I don't know anything about psychology or what's professional in their field, but I would imagine they would probably look down on something like what she's doing and saying exactly what they're saying. They're like, she's some kind of a influencer and she's doing whatever. And I would imagine that people would say that about me, and they would say that about a lot of people that are critical about, because like she's explained, there's no cults, there's no set a cult book. Like there's a medical book about mental diseases, right? And you can look up different mental schizophrenia and bipolar disorder and all the different medical conditions, and you can look them up in an encyclopedia. But you can't, there's nothing like that for cults. So there's really no, there's no set way. Just same thing with like, I would say it would be the same thing like these behavior people, these body language and behavior people that go on the internet and they watch a video and they say, well, I think he's being deceptive. I think he's not doing this or not doing that, or I think he might be hiding something. He wasn't being truthful, and I think that other professionals would criticize them and go, well, that's not a professional thing to do, and that they probably shouldn't be doing that on the internet, and who are they? So I would, because I would imagine with body language and that type of thing, analyzing people's behavior, there's no set thing where you can always say this is this and that's that. It's always going to be someone's. It's always going to be someone's kind of an opinion. Like you said, if you start going guru, you're shutting it down. Leading lady is going Hollywood. Well, people are following her. I mean, I would imagine, I don't know if anybody's going on and calling her a guru, calling her a guru. Yeah, I mean, if you guys were, if anybody was going on and doing like hot feet, if anybody was doing like hot feet, and they were singing songs about me, or knitting cult lady, I think if anybody was singing songs about knitting cult lady and talking about she's my guru and she's like God, and I pray to her and she gives me love of God or something like that, I'd say, yeah, that person's got a problem. I'd say that person's got a problem. But that's funny. So anyway, thinking that the cult leader thinking that he's got to give teaching. I'm teaching something that no one else can teach. I'm giving you the highest levels of this or that, and I got it in a dream, or I
He didn't have that dream. I did.
I had that dream. So now I know more than I know. I'm teaching stuff that Jesus didn't teach. I'm teaching stuff that Prabhupada didn't teach. I'm teaching stuff that Krishna didn't teach. Whatever. Then I would have to say, you gotta. You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. Okay. So I wanted to get to, before I get into this child marriage, I wanted to, this relates to it. I wanted to show you this. I came across this, and I thought it was pretty good. Explains women. She explains how, this is somebody else. This is somebody I don't even know. Is called No Nonsense Spirituality. Britt Hartley, and she explains a lot. Here we go.
How to survive inside of it and gain status within it and make it work for them as best they can, rather than try to overthrow an entire system. So a patriarchal bargain can look like this. If I accept these gender roles, support male authority, perform the kind of femininity that this system rewards, I may not get freedom, but I get protection, I get belonging, I get moral status, I get stability, I get to be adored by many men, and then, other women will be jealous of me, I'll get some status in society. And so for a lot of human history, that actually was maybe the smartest thing to do if you want to survive. Like if you were a woman in China at the time, the best thing to do as a mother for your daughter, which like breaks my heart, and I'm going to use this analogy various times in this video, the best thing to do for your daughter to help her survival was to bind her feet. It was not men who bound the feet of little girls. Men ran the show, certainly, and men wanted incapacitated women. They found that very hot because there's not much you can do when you have lotus feet but like lay around in bed for you. But because a woman's survival depended on this system, it was the mothers and the grandmothers who took a little girl's feet and broke them and fit them into tiny shoes. And it's because if you didn't, she wouldn't survive. No one would take care of her. She would be vulnerable. If she got pregnant, no one would be able to care for her. She couldn't go out and get a job. And so women became the enforcers of binding feet, even though they had memories of their feet being broken and bound as little girls. It can override all of that because mothers helping their daughters survive in patriarchy and supporting patriarchy, if you do well in it, was the best that you could at least subconsciously hope for. It's the bargaining that you're doing with the system. And so in societies where women had limited access to independent income, legal rights, inheritance, physical protection, public authority, birth control, attaching yourself to a powerful man or a male-led moral system was often the safest available route. And so safety might come through a father or a husband or the church or a very powerful son and community reputation. And so the system did not just say submit, it said if you submit correctly, you will be protected and you will be honored and you will be valued, far more so than if you try to overthrow the system and you get socially rejected and you're out there in the outskirts.
So you can see where, it explains how maybe 1,000 years ago or 2,000 years ago, women, to protect it in a sense of, in the same sense that the Chinese would break the feet of their little girls so that they would have a better life, somehow, get a better husband or have a better life. Doing that in the same way, these women would marry their little girls off at a young age, thinking that that's protecting them. That's the best we can do is get my daughter married off, get her under the protection of some man. But we don't need that now. We don't think like that now. In fact, we haven't thought that way in a long time. That's maybe 2,000 years ago, like what she's talking about. The survival back, women surviving back then, in 2,000 years ago, because of medicine and childbirth and a lot of things, women mortality rates were a lot higher. So a lot of women probably thought, and it was probably true at the time, that getting their daughters married at a young age, 11, 12, 13 maybe, was a good idea because it put them under the protection of someone. Otherwise, something bad might happen. But so I can see where that, and that's how you can see, like she said, it's the women that are doing this to their daughters under the misconception that this is what's best for them. That this is in their minds, due to the system that they're in, due to being in this varnashram or this sanatana, whatever it is, this culture of where child marriage is, got to marry these little girls off. You just have to marry them off. The women are trying to protect their own daughters, thinking that that's the best thing that they can do. Get these little girls married, get their little girls married off. Just like that girl, that woman said in Mayapur, that the other woman came up to her and said, "Hey, your daughter's really beautiful. You think I could marry her off to my grown son?" It's the women, the women that are trying to marry the daughters and get the boys fixed up in this society, in this organization, this whatever you want to call it, this cult that just abuses women and children. Friggin' insanity. Okay, you got a song, you got a chant. Okay, you guys, You guys do whatever you want to do. You guys do what you want to do, man. You guys do what you want to do. That's funny. That's funny, man. That's funny. Hey, Ann, how you doing? Good to see you here. So this is a really good video. She explains. Hey, yeah, thank you. She explains why women stay loyal, why they're in these cults, in this patriarchy, why they do this stuff. It's a really good video. It explains a lot. Here, let me send this over and I think if I didn't ban myself, there you go.
He didn't have that dream. I did.
He had a dream. He had a dream. It's so funny. Okay. So we did this. I really liked that video. It was really good. I watched about 10 minutes of it. It was really good. So I recommend that. Now, the thing with the thing with the child marriage is really something. Let me see where I can find this. Here it is. Pause this for a second. So, I got a message. Someone sent me a message about complaining to me. Wouldn't you know it? What they're complaining about? Complaining about this child marriage. Complaining about child marriage. That's why I decided to do this. It says here. Let me see if I can put it up on the screen so you can see. So you don't know. You think I'm making stuff up. I always show everything that I read most of the time, just because I don't want anyone to think I'm making anything up. I know. There's a Dreamer Pod. Somebody sent me an email, and I promised the person in the email that I would not reveal their name. I would not reveal who they are. They asked me not to, because that's how these cult members are, and I'm not giving the person a hard time. I thank you for sending me the email, but I'm just saying these people that a lot of them, they want to stay anonymous. They don't want to be shamed. They don't want to be shunned. They don't want they don't want any repercussions, whatever that could be. They don't want that. So they ask to be anonymous. So I honor that. I know how they feel. I know that they don't want their identity to be revealed. I understand. So I didn't reveal the identity. So now they're over there discussing whether I'm making that up. They think I'm making it up, that I didn't really get an email. Well, I have the email, and I can show it. But I told him I wouldn't do it. I just don't want to do it. I'm not going to do it, but I could redact it and I could show it, but I'm not even going to do that. But so this person sent me this message, again, defending child marriage. It says, personally, I don't understand getting married to someone who don't want you. What the hell is that? Now, first of all, parental arranged marriage is not criminal pedophilia. Well, it's human trafficking, is what it is. It's basically you're human trafficking your own child, is what it is. I mean, you take your choice of what crime it is. It's either human trafficking your own child, or it's pedophilia. Mike, there are plenty of horror story videos where women tell what it was like to be married. I know. I've done some videos about them. I've done some reaction videos about. I know, but they just don't care. They just don't care. Yeah, I clipped it. I did. I clipped it. I clipped it. It's just too funny. It's just too, it's like this.
All right.
I'm just a dreamer, but you are just a dream.
Okay, let me get back to this. It says, first of all, parental arranged marriage is not criminal pedophilia. Parents arranging a marriage for their underage children, man, that should be a crime, and I'm sorry that it's not, but it should be, and it is. In some places, it is. Okay, it's definitely okay. It's not equal rights it's not giving women the right to choose their own destiny. That's for sure. It's definitely not that. So it says, as India has more women than USA has people, and still does practice this. They do practice it, but that doesn't mean that it's right. It's outlawed. It's against the law, but people still do it. Yeah, they still do it. Because there's a lot of backwards people in India. The lady just said. The lady just explained it. Why they do this. Because they feel this is best for their children. Because this is what but they're moving away from it. They're moving away from it. But it's not. Okay, so anyway, let's go. So this person says, where are all the women complaining at? Well, they're not allowed to complain. They're not allowed to complain. They're brainwashed. Indian culture does. Yes, I looked up this. I looked up the statistics. It's in the 25% to like 37% of our child marriages, underage child marriages. Like 25%, like a quarter or a little bit more than a quarter of all the marriages in India are child marriages. That's what they qualify as. So it's a problem, but that doesn't make it right. Just because 25% of the population is breaking the law and doing something that's wrong and is outlawed, it doesn't mean it's okay and it's right. I mean, it actually makes it criminal. It makes it a crime, is what it makes it. So it says here, so then this person goes on and says, like I said, if I was a man, I wouldn't want to marry a girl that didn't like me or thought I was puke, and thus there's an element of matching going on. Okay, so this person admits that she wouldn't want to be this person admits that she wouldn't want to be in an arranged marriage, but still thinks it's okay. It says, again, if it's so horrible and equal to pedophilia, then how could hundreds of millions of Indian women force that on their own daughters without a peep? Well, the lady explained it in the previous video. And Prabhupada's saying must be married was not for the man's sake or pleasure, it was for the women's safety. So what this person is saying is that we have to marry little girls to men, to grown men, so that they will be safe from men. The men are dangerous, so we need to marry these little girls to the grown men, so the grown men won't abuse the little. I don't. It's crazy. You don't see many women, Indian women, in bars. Again, it is against their culture. Yeah, I know. And in some cultures, like in some places, women can't drive a car. They're not allowed to. They're not allowed to go to school. They're not allowed to do a lot of things. In India, women have the freedom to do a lot of things. They just choose not to do it because that's not in their culture. But they're not forced. Eric Erickson, one stage in childhood development, trust versus mistrust, hinges on the entire future adult mental health. I wonder how 12-year-old Mrs. Prabhupada turned out in her head. She probably wanted to marry her daughter. I mean, I don't know. I don't know, man. It's crazy. It's absolutely... Yeah, I mean, it's practiced all over. It's not, if you look up child marriage, which I've done, you look it up, and you research it, it's practiced in a lot of places. It's outlawed in a lot of places, but people still practice it. But, they're trying to get rid of it, but, it's... That's such a occult logic. I know. It's crazy. Yeah, women don't have much freedom in it. You see, I've seen women in India, like the women won't even drink chai in Publix in some places. They feel ashamed. They'll hide. They'll buy chai and then they'll go around the back and sit and drink it where no one can see them, because it's like they don't want to. Or smoke a cigarette, or smoke a whatever. Like women can't do stuff. Women can't, and it's not because they're not allowed to. It's just because they're not supposed to do it, and they feel ashamed, and they don't have the freedom to do it. It's not. It's not. It's the men drink, the women play close family and religion. Yeah, it's purity culture is what it is. It's a purity culture. Hey, ham sandwich. Good to see you, man. Glad you made it. Child marriage is kind of tribalist custom. Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, it is. It's African countries, Middle Eastern countries. Child marriage is still a thing. It's underage marriage is a thing in the United States. There's like 24 states or something in the United States where underage girls can get married with parental consent, and in some states there's no age limit. Like, it's really disgusting. In some states they allow little girls with a parent, if a parent says yes. Hey, Rafal, good to see you. Child marriage should simply be abolished. Exactly, it should. You would think that by now that it would be pretty much eradicated, but it's not. And when you've got people like these Hare Krishnas promoting it and in their teachings, and like, why can't this dreamer guy just say, yeah, we don't condone that. We don't condone child marriage. We don't condone pedophilia. We don't. Why can't he just say it? He can't. Because it's part of their friggin' thing. It's part of their goddamn thing. It's easy for him to say, oh, you don't have to chant rounds. You don't have to chant 16 rounds. Oh, you don't have to offer your food. Oh, you don't have to dress like a devotee. You don't have to shave your head. You don't have to do any of these things. Just come call me guru. But the child marriage, you gotta be for child marriage. You can't be against it. If you're against it, well, then you're in that Mike cult over there. You can't chant Hare Krishna, be a Hare Krishna, and be against child marriage. You can't. It doesn't work that way. Why? What is it about it? What the fuck is it about these little girl brides that they just can't live without them? Even this guy, this dreamer pod says, I don't think about all that stuff. I don't think about I don't think about it. I don't think about a material body. I don't think about it. That's material nature, and you're caught up in the material this and the material that. But he can't denounce child marriage. He just can't. Even though it's something he never thinks about and he has nothing to do with it, and then he just can't say it's wrong. He just can't. And not only can they not say it's wrong, and not only did it go online and promote it everywhere you can, as you can see, this person is saying, you know, what's so horrible about it? You know, billions of people in India are doing it. You know, they're breaking the law. Not only that, but look, if you just go, I'm going to show you in a second, because all I did was I just went and I just typed it in. Child marriage, Hare Krishna, that's what I typed in. You'll see it on my screen. Child marriage, Hare Krishna. This guy pops up. I mean, you don't have to make this shit up. It says right here, the topic, the title of the video, child marriage is brilliant. God damn it. I mean, has the whole world gone crazy?
Has the whole world gone crazy? Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules?
How can anybody sit there and defend this shit? You had a brahmachari, looked like a brahmachari in his saffron or whatever you fucking want to call it. His big old neck beads. You got tilak on it, shaved head, whatever, you know. And now he's gonna talk. What's he gonna talk about? He's gonna talk about child marriage. What the fuck does he know about child marriage? Well, he's gonna tell us. Let's hear what he has to say, because you know he's one of these super white Hindus.
Ultimately, this is due to a complete lack of knowledge of why we're here. Without understanding this point, everything else that the Vedas or the Vedic culture was meant actually to fulfill the ultimate need of the living entity, which is to reestablish his relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. From that point, can you begin to understand every principle that's given ultimately by Krishna through the scriptures, who is our well-wisher. He speaks these points in the scriptures ultimately to help us, guide us in that way. And from a material perspective, we need to live properly so that we can have proper time and mental stability to practice and understand these finer topics of life. So this marriage, which was done at a young age, was to prevent people from having to waste so much time and energy and misuse their human form of life and trying to think about...
Where did he learn this from? Where the hell did he learn this from? And he says, this child marriage was. Yeah, no, was. You guys doing it now. You guys still doing it now. Prabhupada was doing it in 1977. He put it in his books, the law books for the next 10,000 years. Where did he learn this from? How come he knows so much about child marriage? He's wearing this saffron, but he sure knows a lot about child marriage and how it benefits society. Isn't that kind of weird? Like what? Like, did they have a class? We have a child marriage class today. Maharaj is going to lecture on the glories of child marriage. That's what it sounds like. He took a class in child marriage.
These things that are not really important to the soul itself, like getting married and living some kind of adjustment in this material world. So at a young age, when the hormones weren't fully developed yet, it was best to get children married early on so that they wouldn't have to grow up and be concerned about these things, like maintaining the bodily demands, such as, how to expand your family or whatever the case may be. So those children who needed to get married, or like all women, for example, were, required to have marriage life. So they were married at a young age so that the burden wasn't on them, so they wouldn't have to think in an unclear state of mind when the body would develop and have to hunt out for men like is happening now and due to the Western influence. Women have to look for men versus they were helped and guided by their parents according to scriptures so that they can actually focus on the real duty, the real requirement of the soul, which is to develop his relationship with Krishna. Without that understanding, then everything else.
This is the most sexist, misogynistic crap I've ever heard. Wrapped up with child, it's like women are, they can't think for themselves, they can't figure shit out, so they can't handle spirituality and their own life and a husband and they can't handle all that. So we got to help them out by marrying them off young, and then they don't have to worry about shit because their brains can't handle it. Because their brains are small. Remember, they're small brains. They like to be raped, so we got to protect them. Otherwise, they're going to be out screwing everything they can find. So we got to marry them off when they're 11 or 12, and it's perfect because then they don't have to think about anything. All they got to do is just worship their husband, worship the Lord, and worship their husband, and do whatever He says, and then life is perfect for them. It's friggin'. I can't even believe this shit.
That makes sense. If you think the goal is just to be happy and satisfied, then you'll question every principle in the scripture because you'll think, well, maybe there's a better way to be happy. But actually, it's ultimately wrong because Krishna sees even how we can be materially happy if we follow all his injunctions that are given in the scriptures. So thank you very much.
Oh. Okay, so, and there's many videos, there's many videos like that. You can say about all religion. Well, not all religion preaches child marriage. I don't know. But yes, absolutely.
Is the whole world gone crazy? Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules?
But the fact that this guy feels like, well, I'm just gonna get right on the internet and I'm just gonna talk about how great child marriage is. Child marriage is awesome. It's it's insanity. I want to make sure I'm not. I want to make sure I'm not passing over any trolls in here. This white retard. The women in my family are nurses, professors, teachers, mothers too. The insanity of these people with this Vedic culture that they think is so awesome and so great, when it's like the Taliban. It's like Taliban level shit. It really is. I mean, most women are. I mean, my mother took care of everything. She took care of the house. She took care of the finances. She took care of she cooked. She raised the kids. I mean, she did the shopping. She did everything. My dad was, he was like a lion. He went to work. He brought home a paycheck and he sat on the couch. He watched TV. And my mom was the brains behind the whole thing. My mom was the brains behind the whole thing. Yeah, Vaishnavas are now using terms like mindfulness because their own books use lofty roundabout teachings. I remember when I met this guy at the LA temple. His name was Mahatma, and he was telling me about this Course of Miracles and some other Tony Robbins type thing that he was into, and I was just like, I don't understand, because Prabhupada kind of preaches against that. I'm trying to get into Krishna consciousness, and he's telling me about these new age type things that he's into, kind of along with. I don't know. It was weird. Buddha taught sex with a child is against the Dharma. So they must have been doing it back then. If Buddha was speaking out against it, I feel like I'm in good company. I don't worry about it. Yeah. Okay. So let me see. I want to show you another one of these child marriage videos. So here's another one. Here we go. Wait. Oh, hold on. Let me. You're gonna have. This is Prabhupada here. Oh, it's not working?
It was decided by the parents. Just like I was also married.
Oops.
Marriage, at least in India, at least up to our time, the marriage was taking place not on the liking of the boy and the girl, no. It was decided by the parents. Just like I was also married man. I was married when I was a student. And I did not know what will be this. But the parents arranged. What to speak of me, I'll give you another very brilliant example that you have perhaps heard the name of Dr. Rajendra Prasad. He was the first president of India. He has written his biography. He was married at the age of 8 years. Formerly in India the marriage was taking place like that. I know my father-in-law was married when he was 11 years. And my mother-in-law was 7 years.
His mother-in-law was 7 years old. His father-in-law was 11. It was 7, 11. This is what Prabhupada thinks is okay. I'm freaking out because he was marrying a 12-year-old to a 19-year-old man. In his time, they were fixing up little kids to be married forever. 7 years old, 11 years old, 8 years old. I mean, that's just. I can't even. I mean, I can't even explain it. I mean, and people want to act like that was normal, or it's normal, or an 11-year-old and a 22-year-old man is normal. These people now, in today's world, these people on the internet are talking about how it's okay. Sending me private messages, putting messages in the Reddit subgroup about ISKCON and Hare, they're putting in there about. Here's one that we've seen before.
I think I've spoken about my own life. You know that I was a married man. So after being married, I did not like my wife. Somehow or other I did not like. I must say, she.
Why is everybody laughing? He says, I did not like my wife. and then they all laugh, and all these guys are laughing. And I don't know what the women are sitting there when he says, "I didn't like my wife," and because there's women sitting there too, but the men start laughing. And I don't know what it's like. I don't know what it must have been like for a woman to be sitting there, and he says, "I didn't like my wife," and then all the men in the room start laughing. Because I'm not a woman, I don't know what that's like. But I guess if it was a woman sitting there talking to a room full of women, men and women, and she said, "I didn't like my husband," and all the women started laughing, I think I might feel a little funny. I'm not sure, but I think maybe I might be like, why are they laughing? I'm just saying.
It's very faithful, very everything, everyone faithful. But I did not like somehow.
She was everything. She was everything. She was everything, and she loved everything. But he just didn't like her. He just didn't like her. She sacrificed her life. She gave her life basically for this guy, right? She's arranged marriage. She's forced to marry this guy. She got no say in the thing. She's there. He rapes her, when she's 11, gets her pregnant, whatever. And but he says, "Hey, I didn't like her. I just didn't like her." Well, hey, I thought it was arranged marriage. I thought it was all astrological and whatever. And it was Vedic. You guys are supposed to fall in love, and you guys are supposed to do all this. What happened there? What happened? I don't understand. What happened?
So I was preparing for next marriage.
Oh, you wanted another wife. You wanted another one. So you didn't like the first 11-year-old. So you decided you were just gonna, I'll dump her and get me another one. Oh, look, at the age of 22, he was married, who was 11, in an arranged marriage. At 14, she gave birth to their first son. So he was 25 and she was 14. So he was 25, she was 14. It's disgusting. I don't know what to say. It's just disgusting. He's no pure anything. He's no pure anything. And then he made sure to put this in his books that he wanted all little 11 and 12-year-old girls married to grown men. And then arranged to have a 12-year-old girl married to a 19-year-old man. He sanctioned that. He said that was okay, no objection. And that's why they cannot say it's wrong. They can't say it's wrong. He was 25 when she gave birth to her first child, and she was 14. She was 14, which means he was 24 and she was 13 when she got pregnant. When she got pregnant, she was 13, he was 24. And they think that's perfectly fine. They don't see anything wrong with it. They just can't. But we're the ones that are fucked up. Because we got this material nature and the material vision. We're not spiritual enough. Like we gotta be into child marriage and pedophilia in order to understand. We just can't understand God. We can't understand Krishna. We can't understand Chaitanya. We can't understand the 6 Goswamis. We definitely can't understand Rupanuga. We can't understand Rupanuga and Bhatta Gopal. We can't understand any of that shit. Because we reject child marriage and pedophilia. We reject it. Because we reject it, we can't understand transcendental knowledge. Okay, let me see. My vision is blocked. Okay.
Dropped off in Dallas when I was about 3, in the Dallas Gurukul. And I don't know if your viewership is aware that the Dallas Gurukul was shut down for child abuse a couple of years later. And definitely, some of the most horrific years of my life in Dallas. And then my parents, right before Dallas Gurukul closed, had gone to open a temple in Iran. And so because the temple had closed, I went to Iran to live with them there. And then there was the revolution. So Prabhupada died when I was in Iran. So then my mom and I went to India, and we lived in Mayapur for a while. It seemed like disaster just followed me. So then there were the floods in Mayapur in 1978, and we left Mayapur. We were both very sick. My mom had typhoid, malaria. I had jaundice and typhoid, and then so I'm 8, 9. I'm 9 years old by this time, and my grandfather was living in Hawaii, and my mother took us there to recover from.
So this is an example. This is an example of a child bride. This woman is she's grown up. She's grew up in the Hare Krishna. Now she's an adult. She's in her 30s, 40 years old, whatever. And she's on this freaks podcast. I was a child bride in ISKCON. I was a child bride in ISKCON, aged just 13. And she's got a horrific story. And this guy doesn't care. I mean, he likes having her on because he means he's going to get some clicks and views. And he's going to promote, and he can distribute Prabhupada's books, and he can promote his Hare Krishna podcast. He doesn't care how many people get harmed. He doesn't care about how many other little girls get married off. He doesn't care about how any other women are abused, domestic abuse or sexual abuse. He doesn't care about this at all. He's listening to her as if she's telling him about when she went on a hike the other day.
Illnesses. So this is the first exposure I'd had at all to the Karmi world, right? I had never seen a television, sat on a sofa. I mean, I had no...
Just like the Dreamer Pod. Just like Dreamer Pod. He's like, I don't think about those things. I try not to think about the abuse. I don't think about that. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to dwell on the material body and the material nature. And I don't want to dwell on that stuff. I just want to chant Hare Krishna and I want to preach, and I want people to worship me, and I want you to spread the word that I'm the guru and I'm the guy that you got to come to. And I don't care how many lives I harm with this nonsense, with this brainwash, with this bullshit. I just don't care. You can come if you want to come. You can go if you want to go. And that's exactly Prabhupada's attitude. Prabhupada didn't care. He didn't care about this woman being married off at 13. He didn't care about how his teachings were going to affect this little girl and become a child bride. Prabhupada says 12 years old, 19-year-old man, hey, that's fine. No problem. So Prabhupada didn't give a shit that this woman was put through hell and was a child bride at 13. Prabhupada's like, that's fine. That's not my problem. We're here to ISKCONites to get therapeutic brainstorm and help others deal with that massive BS Yes. Absolutely. A lot of people in ISKCON are just like this guy. They don't want to think about the harm. They don't want to think about the harm. Well, I mean, they do. He's thinking about it, but he doesn't care about it. He's too busy thinking about thinking about his podcast to worry about how many people are being harmed. Yeah, the guy that laughed, the one that yeah, he thought it was funny. He thought it was funny when she was saying and he's like, oh yeah, we had the same birthday. Isn't that funny? I know. It's insane. It's insane. It's insane. But it just shows you how these cult members, anywhere from the guru at the top, like Bhakti Vikash doesn't care, right? All the way down to this guy. He just does a podcast. You know, he's no big wig anything. He's just a small time podcaster. He reaches a lot of people, a lot of Hare Krishna. He's got, and so he's there to like kind of whitewash this whole thing. He's like, I'll give you a platform where you can tell your story, so I can seem like I'm neutral, but it doesn't. I'm not gonna make a big deal about it, because it's just, you're just another story. You're just another one of the stories. I can't jeopardize my Hare Krishna project because you were harmed. That's his attitude. Just like Dreamer Pod, he says he's not gonna jeopardize anything that anybody calling him Gurudev by going against child marriage and pedophilia and admitting that he had a dream. I mean, they're just not gonna do it. Yeah, I mean, Prabhupada would have laughed as well. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I think. Yeah, that's what I think. Okay. So now we're gonna do. We got something special going on. Today it is we're doing this.
I was requested to say a few words about why and how I came to Krishna consciousness, and something about my YouTube channel. I have my own YouTube channel, Mila Sor, with 277,000 subscribers by the mercy of Guru and Goranga. So the first question, how and why I came to Krishna consciousness. I was born and raised in the capital city of Macedonia, Skopje. Macedonia is a small country with only 2 million residents that is located north of Greece. It is the country where Alexander the Great and Mother Teresa come from. I was born in Orthodox Christian family, but my parents were not very religious. There was no reading of Bible or praying in our home. Also, my parents went just a few times a year to the church for big Christian festivals. And if I would to describe me as a child, would be 2 words: shy, introvert, and sensitive. So I can give an example. Shy, for example, when I was 6 years old, I was playing in a school drama, but then as soon as the curtain opened and I saw my mom in the audience, I ran down from the podium. I ran to her, I buried my head in her lap, and then I was crying and I said, Mama, I'm not going back, I'm too shy to play.
Yeah, absolutely. This is yeah, let me get where am I? Here I am. Yeah, so she's a pick-me. She's a pick-me. She wants to be up there next to the men in power. She's gonna whitewash the sins of this cult. She makes it attractive for women. She says, hey, I'm a woman, I'm in here. All this stuff that you hear about bad stuff about women, like stuff from Mike that he says about it's sexist and misogynistic and all that. I'm in it. I wouldn't be in it if it was bad. I wouldn't be in it if I was mistreated. I'm. That's exactly what these women and also she gets protection by being in it, like the lady was saying. It's survival. She gets all that stuff. The ego. She's attractive to men because the men. They're all looking at the women, and then she's got attractive for the women. She shows off for the women. So there's a lot of reasons why these women become attracted to these male-dominated, misogynistic, sexist cults or organizations or systems, and she's a perfect example of it. Perfect example, honestly.
Then sensitive. Also around this age, I found a sparrow with injured wing. The poor sparrow couldn't fly, so I took it home and I asked my mom to please help. So she gave me one box. I put a lot of grass and leaves to make it soft, and I laid this poor sparrow inside. Carefully, I fed him with water and little breadcrumbs, but sadly the next day the sparrow died, and this really made me very sad. This was my first encounter with death. Then and there I realized everything that is born has to die. So I was grieving.
It's funny. It's like as a little kid, when they have these experiences, and it's like such a spiritual thing. Like I remember when I was a little kid, I found a bird egg on the ground on the way to school. I was like, this is like kindergarten. I was like kindergarten. We were walking to school. We used to walk to school. Me and a couple neighbor kids, we were little, same age as me. We walked to school, and I found this little sparrow egg or whatever on the ground, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna take it home." We were going to school. I was like, "I'm gonna take it home, and I'm gonna put it in a box." Like you see like on cartoons or whatever. You put it in a box, and it's gonna hatch. I'm gonna put a light bulb. I'll put a light bulb in there, and this little egg is going to hatch into a bird. I don't know what I thought I was going to do with that baby bird, but I don't know what I thought I was going to do with a baby bird, but I was going to hatch this egg, and I was so excited, and I had this egg, and I was like taking it, but I had to take it to school, and I put it in my pocket. And on the way home from school, I felt something in my pocket. It had broke. This little sparrow egg broke in my pocket, and it was all like a scrambled egg, or it was an egg in my pocket. And I went home, and I was so sad. I was like, "Oh, my little unborn egg, my little unborn egg, died before it was even born." It was like, but I wasn't contemplating the universe, or the meaning of life. Or why am I here? It didn't spur any of those thoughts in my head. It was just I made a mess in my pocket. I was kind of sad though. Let me tell you, it was kind of sad.
Much, and I organized a funeral for the sparrow with my friends. We dug a hole, we put it inside, we cried, we made a cross with 2 sticks like that. Then, age 13. I wrote my first poem about a tree. In that poem, I was lamenting why people cut trees when the tree gives us shade, gives us fruits. The tree can't speak, cannot say, please don't cut me. Why are people so cruel? So I was very, very, very sensitive.
Yeah, she was. So this shows that she was spiritual from a young age, at a very young age. The bird died. The bird died, and then whatever, she's learning, she's growing up, and she's just not like the other kids. She's got this spiritual side of her that just won't quit. She was destined to be this gopi
If a child, normal child would be 10% sensitive, I would be 100% sensitive, like that. Then the cows. When I was 15, I was invited. Well, me and my friends, we organized a New Year party in a friend's house that was nearby my parents' house. And we were all kids, about 10 kids, all from the same neighborhood. We were all going to same school and same class, and the parents knew each other. That's why my parents let me go. And then when, while in the other room, they were all playing and dancing. Oh my God, the cow. Playing and dancing. I was in another room, like totally alone, looking out of the window. And then a friend came and said, Mila, what are you doing here alone? And I said, I just need a little bit me time. And then he said, actually, I want to tell you something, that I am now into India. And as soon as he mentioned the word India, I swear, it was like a light bulb that was off for years and years. It went on, and all of a sudden the whole room was like illuminated with light, and I would just gasp, and I was India. And to this day I don't know how and why.
Such a spiritual, just the word India, and she had this revelation, this whole spiritual thing. She heard the word India, and the next thing you know, it was.
I can dance. You sing it with me, and then you'll know. Yay!
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, what did you say? It was funny. You made a comment. It's kind of fun for about a few months, then their fangs come out. Yeah, a few months. I'd say maybe, at the best. At the best, you might go 6 months, and before like any like anxiety and kind of like, oh, because first starts in with the chanting. I'm not chanting enough, or I'm not following the regular principles enough. I need to follow these things, and once that shit starts, man, it's all downhill. It's all down the hill. I mean, a few months. That's why, actually, the best time is the first time you walk into the temple room. That's your best experience. Just leave. Just leave after that. Leave after that. No, never go back, and you can actually say, "Hey, I had a good experience. I had a good experience at Hare Krishnas, because I just went, I looked, and I left, and I never went back, and that's the best experience you could possibly have." Yeah, they attract you with food, and then they start feeding you poison. Yeah, they attract you with food, and Prabhupada knows that he's doing that too. He says, give them some food, and then hit them up with the books. That's exactly what they do. Oh man, I want to make sure I'm not missing any best religious forum available. I hope so, man. I think it's great. You guys are talking about Buddha and stuff, and I think that's great. It was really downhill from day one. That's what I that's what I say, man. I say day one is your best day. You go in, you're looking around, and you're like, wow, the flowers and the incense and the bells. And if you're there, and if it's a Sunday, if your first day is a Sunday feast, and you go and you leave, and when it's over and you never go back, you hit the jackpot. You had the best. You had the best. You had the best. You won the lottery on that one, and then you just walk away. Absolutely, you just walk. You just walk away. Your first Sunday feast. And
Just walk away. There has been too much violence, too much pain. Just walk away, and there will be an end to Vihara. Just walk away.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Where is that one? Believe in nothing, Lubowski.
He believes in nothing.
He believes in nothing, Lebowski, nothing.
I believe in nothing, Lebowski. Okay, I want to find a little bit more of this girl. I got to goof on this girl.
Did that because other than learning little bit basics about India in school, I never spoke with anybody about India. I never saw like documentaries about India on TV. So it was very strange now when I look back. But then that friend said, you know, I became vegetarian. I'm into Zen Buddhism. I do meditation. I do Hatha yoga. And like that. And while he was explaining what he's doing, I was just staring out of the window, and with my finger I was drawing the map of India. I even remember asking him, this India? And he was like, Mila, there is only one India on planet Earth. I was so fascinated.
You know, there is no way, you know, let me get over here. Let me get over here for a minute. There is just, I like India. India's fun, you know. Disneyland can be fun. Camping can be fun. A lot of things can be fun. That doesn't mean you want to do it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. India is fun. Like I can go spend a week or 2 weeks. 2 weeks is enough. Or, you know, if I want to go to Rishikesh, I could go to Rishikesh for a week. I could go to Vrindavan for a week. I could just travel around for you know, some time, and then I gotta get out of here. That's enough. But that's just as a tourist. I can't imagine going and living on a place like this, right? Living there. Some of you have done it. You guys have lived in Mayapur. You've lived in New Vrindavan. You lived wherever in a community like this. But to live in India, with cows and the dust and the dirt and all of that stuff, and you know, sometimes there's no running water, sometimes there's no hot water, sometimes it's really hot, sometimes it's cold, and it's just, you know, I can understand doing that if I thought I was on some kind of spiritual journey, real, authentic. I don't even know what that means. If I thought I was on a real, authentic spiritual journey, and somehow I was working towards some kind of goal at the end where I was going to have this enlightened state of nirvana, or whatever you want to call it, some city or I don't know, you know, bhava, some state of mahabhava, or whatever it is that you want to call it. And that was real. And I was really going to I was going to levitate. I was going to float into this. I was going to just float up a rope or something, you know, like an Indian rope trick. Like I was going to, you know, I was actually going to, then I might put up, I might put up with all of that shit in India, like just all the hardship, all that hardship. But to just put up with it, because I'm being lied to and being deceived and being told I'm on it's a 5,000-year-old tradition when it's not, and that that this guy is a pure devotee when he's not, and that this is a sampradaya when it's not, and that this is the Supreme Personality of Godhead who appeared 5,000 years when it's not, when it's just a bunch of manipulation and stories and mythology and all of this stuff wrapped all around. And it's just, and that's what it is. And I'm taking a cold shower and doing all of this stuff and dealing with all of that, Vrindavan, Mayapur, whatever, that stuff, for nothing. For nothing? Oh, you got to give me a break. You got to give me a break. That I can't see. That's something that I can't deal with. Let me get back over here for a second.
Three, 4 days later, when the shops opened after the New Year festival, I went to a bookstore and I bought all books that were there about India, and that was Bhagavad Gita and Upanishads, that was actually one book. Half of the book, maybe about 50-60 pages, was Bhagavad Gita, but not the Bhagavad Gita we know with verses and purports, but it was like written in a form of essay by some American philosopher, and the second half of the book was Upanishads. So I understood nothing. All I understood was that some Sanjaya and some Dhritarashtra, and there is some war, and I was like, why is there a war when this is supposed to be a spiritual book, like the Bible for Christianity, Bhagavad Gita is for the Hindus? Then Upanishads was even worse. Didn't understand anything. I bought a book, a poetry book, and short stories from
these books and these stories. You know, it really doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't matter what book, whose book. I mean, if it, you know, if you want to believe Buddha, or you want to believe Krishna or Vishnu or Shiva or Allah or Jesus or one of many gods that are being worshipped in the world, if you want to believe one of them, you pick one and worship it. You know, does it? You know, I'm gonna which one it is. I'm gonna fall back on what my dear old dad said on his birthday, which was yesterday. His birthday. He said, "What difference does it make? Ain't no book fall out of the sky. Ain't no book fall out of the sky." And they're all written by some guy. Some guy. Ain't no God appeared on this planet. Ain't no God came down from no heavenly planet, from no anywhere, and landed and stood and said, "Here I am. I'm God. I play a flute. I sleep on a snake. I float in a cloud. I throw lightning bolts." And that's all cult stuff, because all of that stuff comes from these early caveman cults. Is this carried over, and just repackaged, repurposed into a new cult or a new type of cult. That's all it is. Well, Hare Krishna don't follow Vedas, they follow Prabhupada, so no problem. Yeah, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they follow the Vedas or not. Following the Vedas didn't fall out of the sky. It didn't come here from anybody. It ain't got nothing to do with anything. Ain't nothing you can learn from the Vedas. There's nothing you can learn from the Vedas. You want to control your breath? You want to learn how to sacrifice a horse and a pig? Hey, go at it. You want to learn how to chant some mantras so you can levitate yourself, float up into the sky? Go ahead, go to it, man. Chant away. Yeah, it's all brainwashing. It's all brainwashing, and it's old. They've been doing this shit for thousands of years. The pharaohs, all of these old time civilizations, it was all basically just cults, bunch of different cults. Whether some leader, some king leader guy, some spiritual leader guy, king leader guy. You know, I mean, basically, when you get down to it, that's all it is. And maybe it makes you happy, and maybe it makes some people happy, and that, you know, if it makes you happy, fine. If you got to molest some kids to be happy, you got a problem. If you got to marry a little girl, if you think you got to marry a little girl to love God, or you got to promote little girls being married to grown men just because you want to love God, I got to become a child marriage proponent, or a guy who like can't say anything bad about a child molesting guru. I can't say anything bad about that because I might become a ghost or something. This is bullshit. Why are you trying to defend this shit so much for? You got to ask yourself that. Why? Why they put up such a goddamn fight about this child marriage? They can't just come out and say, yeah, we don't, that shit is wrong. It was wrong. No. Because Prabhupada can't be wrong. Now, I wanted to show something else, but I can't find it. So I think I'm just going to go right into...
There is a fifth dimension, beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination, of imagination, of imagination, of imagination, of imagination.
You know, Rafael, it really is. It really is, and it's because you gotta wonder if they're not practicing child marriage, why are they defending it so much? Why do they defend it so much? Why don't they just say, yeah, that was then, and we're not into that anymore? No, because you're still into it. You're still into it. Okay, let's see what we got here.
Talking about what this woman just said.
You know what's getting people hired in 2026? AI certificates, not college degrees, not years of experience, AI skills for free.
All right, so yeah, that's definitely it's this really it needs no explanation because it says it right here. It says it right here on the description of the video. It says business tycoon seeks blessings. Basically, it's cult seeks money. Cult seeks money from millionaire. That's what it should be. That's what it really is. They got this business guy, this millionaire going, look, they bring him right up to Prabhupada. They're like, look, there's Prabhupada. You really should give us some money. Because, Prabhupada was all about the money. So, you really go ahead and throw some feet at the statue. So throw some flowers at the statue's feet. I wore that hat. I had that hat on my head a few times. I don't know what that hat is, but I had that hat. I had that hat on my head a couple times. Artemis 2 capsule just sent back pictures of the Earth and it's flat. Did they get a picture of the turtle? Did they get a picture of the turtle that the Earth is sitting on? Because I want to see that. And then I want to get a picture of Rahu's head. Because if they go around the back side of the moon, maybe they can get a picture of Rahu's head. That's what. Throw some feet at the statue. Yeah, throw some flowers at the statue. And you better worship the Lion Man, because if you don't worship the Lion Man, he's going to put you on his lap and he's going to rip your insides out, just like he did Hiranyakasipu. So you better smile. Smile for the camera, okay? Yeah, it's like fuck all that philosophical bullshit. Just give us some money. We just want some money. That's all we want. We just want some money. All right, I'm done with that. I'm done with this guy. Let's see what else we got. Scamming the millionaires, man. I'm telling you. Okay, again, this is from, these are from Rafal here. Let's see. What do we got? It's such a waste of time and money and energy to be doing that. It just is. This is such a waste to be glorifying these people. They're just ordinary people who think they're friggin' God, man. They're just they're just a bunch of dreamers.
He didn't have that dream. I did.
They're just, and these people are dreaming that they're, just like we were. I was dreaming too. I was dreaming. I was sitting there at these, sitting on the floor in my apartment, in my living room, with Yashoda and Narnarayan and Rupa Manjari and Vadi Raj and whoever else was there, Gauri Das Pandit, Das, and whatever, sitting there, thinking the same thing as these nuts. I was doing that. This was important. Yeah, exactly, Jenna, you're absolutely right. There's no proof that Vedic knowledge is making people have good lives or even being happy. We watch these videos and we see these people look miserable. They all look miserable. I've been around these teachings for at least 20 years and they're all BS. Right. Like if this chanting and all this stuff that they're doing did anything, these people would be so happy. They'd be like Chevy Chase says in National Lampoon, you'd be smiling so hard, you'd be smiling out your ass. You'd be so happy, and it wouldn't be that fake ass giggling and laughing that Gora Hari wants you to think. It would be, you would be really like how you feel when you're really having a really good time and you're happy and you're laughing and joking and laughing and all that, and that comes natural. This shit ain't natural. And the Gora Hari shit and this chanting and this boom, 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 it's just not natural.
I can dance. Boom, 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 You sing it with me, and then you'll know. Boom, 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 yay!
It doesn't even make them. It doesn't give a good life. It doesn't even make them happy. So many times I see them and they're just not happy people. It's ridiculous. Okay. So let's make fun of them. So let's make some more fun of them, I guess. Because they need to be deprogrammed. They need to see this. They need to see it from the point of view of the real world and not from inside their little bubble. And we might be the outside world. We're the karmis, we're the outside world, but we used to be them. So they can't say we don't know what we're talking about. They can't claim that we don't know what we're talking about, or that well, you don't have a guru, or you don't know. No, we know. It comes to fungus, feet washing, means that's their whole life. That's their whole life is somebody being humiliated and somebody being worshipped. And it's usually them being worshipped and we're being humiliated. And that's what it comes down to. And it's just that's your daily life. Your daily life in this thing. Exactly. It's not helping anyone's lives to have good and fulfilling lives. It's teaching people to be sexually repressed, and it's creating women-hating monsters that think that little girls should be married. I mean, why are they always talking about child marriage and saying it's good and it's good and it's good if they're not practicing it? Make that make sense, you know? Make that make sense. Yeah, somebody's gonna trademark that name of foot fungus smoothie. Someone's gonna trademark that. Yeah, it's all BS, man. It is exactly. You know, Jenna found her voice. She's speaking out now. She's always had her voice, but she's speaking out. All you see is broke people, single bereft women, yes, and men, yeah, exactly. You see single bereft women in the ashram, either young or old, right? And then you see men, single men, young and old, deadbeats all around, no good jobs, no good family lives. A lot of them are divorced, kids. Just about everybody I knew. Sura was divorced. Vadiraj was divorced. All the kids that were in the school were coming from broken homes. I was a karmi though. I mean, I never had a Krishna wife or a Krishna marriage. I got married and broke up before I came to Krishna consciousness. But all the people that I knew, Radha Kun had a broken marriage and kids that he never saw. Sri Maya, he was a single father with broken marriage. Just about everybody I met, except for like Swavas, he is married to his wife, and Magendra was married to his wife, and Jaganambika is married to her husband. Other than that, everybody was divorced and running around, and they're not happy. They're just not happy. And that shit is continuing, and they're continuing to promote this child marriage, and that's why, and that's the reason why they can't eradicate child marriage, because people like this are promoting it. There's churches, church organizations, cults that like Hare Krishna and other religious sects and whatever that promote child marriage. I forgot what I said that made you laugh, but I'm glad I made you laugh. Yeah, everything, you know, any of these teachings, you know, you can enjoy the teachings and you can learn stuff from them, but it's not something that you got to like live your life around. That's the problem. You know, if you want to read the Bible and get inspired and like, you know, like get something inspired with it, you know, in your heart or whatever, in your mind, or you read a religious book, Bhagavad Gita or any, you know, book, and you get inspired by it, it makes you, you know, you can do that by reading Mark Twain. You can do that by reading. There's a lot of books you can read that you can feel something. You can feel something inside. You can get inspired. You can touch you. It can touch you. It can change you. It can change your mind about stuff. There's a lot of books like that, but it doesn't. You don't have to like live your life around, especially if it's like 1,000-year-old bullshit. You don't have to live your life around that stuff. Like I like mythology and stories and Greek mythology and stuff like that, but I'm not going to live my life around. I'm not going to dress up in a toga and wear like laurel leaves in my head and walk around and call myself Socrates or Michaeles or something. That's not what I'm going to do. You know, it's just, I'm not gonna do that. I spent many years as a fringy before finally leaving completely. Yeah, you know, I think a lot of people do that. I think a lot of people do that. I think a lot of people live as fringies on the down low. They're on the down low. That's why I said, that's why, you know, I heard early on that you only have to follow 3 regular principles, and you get to pick which 3 they are. And I heard that from a lot of different people, and I observed it from a lot of different people. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare in this cult. Yeah, I don't know, man. You're like, I don't know, man. I think you're barking up the wrong tree. I don't know. Are the Vedas even available to read? I went to New York Public Library online portal and they don't have it. That's a good question. I think somebody did. I think somebody did do some translation. I'm not. Yeah, I don't know. I think it is. I think it is. Yeah, I mean, you know that. Yeah, and that's. I don't have a problem with, like I said, if you want to read stuff like that and it makes you happy and you get something out of it, I think it's okay. But the manipulation, the guru worshiping, the manipulation, and the spiritual blackmail and the spiritual narcissism is toxic. It really is. It's toxic. Yeah, yeah. All this stuff though is just really like. I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, yeah, you know, you're gonna go on and on about Buddhism and all of this stuff. It's yeah, I know. It's, well, somebody's trying to preach Buddhism in here, and which I don't really care. But I just want to make sure I'm not missing any trolls, because then the trolls will say, "Hey, I said something and you ignored me." So that's.
Reklama, która sprzedaje mój kurs, według Ciebie jest skuteczniejsza? Ta czy ta? Pierwsza reklama została...
So so I would say those dance moves, man.
I can dance. Boom, 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 boom. You sing it with me, and then you'll know. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah.
yeah, I would say, I would say, I would say that these people are feeling the ecstatic symptoms, no different than what Gorahari says. Except Gorahari, he wants to say that his ecstatic symptoms are better.
I can dance. Boom, 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 You sing it with me, and then you'll know. Boom, 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 yay!
Gorahari wants to say that his ecstatic symptoms are better because they're more like what Chaitanya was doing. But this is the same thing. It's no different. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it again. I'm sorry, and I don't mean to offend anybody out there. I don't mean seriously. I don't mean to offend anybody out there because I used to do this too. But it just seems when I watch it now, I mean, let's look at this. You've got a couple women. You've got a couple women in the background and standing in the back watching all these guys dancing around with each other in this I'm sorry, but I'm going to say it, in this some kind of a weird homoerotic ritual where they're, dressed in these robes, wearing, they got these, they got the copins on, so they're all up, right, trying to be celibate, but they're not celibate. They're trying to be celibate monks, and they're dancing around with each other. They're dancing around with each other because dancing around with women would be kind of weird. So they're gonna dance around with each other. Like a bunch of men dancing around. The foot wash gets them high. I know. Gets them a foot wash. Man, what was in that foot wash, man? You guys what was in that? Hey, what was in that foot wash, man? I'm really stoned. I'm really stoned. Oh my God! Sip some ecstasy and like ready that. Yeah, we spiked it. We spiked the foot wash. We spiked it with. Oh, it's too funny. It's too funny. Oh my God. I mean, I can understand. I mean, when I say fake it till you're gay, I don't know. Is that what? But it's some kind of gay. I mean, I'm not saying that these guys are all gay. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that this comes from some 500 years ago. A bunch of gay guys were dancing around and doing this stuff, and people are like, "What are these guys doing?" And they're like, "No, that guy's God." Oh, you see that? See the guy with the arms? That's God. We're not weird. We're not gay weirdos. We're just gay. No, I don't know what to say, man. I don't know what to say. Microdosing the foot. They're microdosing the foot fungus, man. They're high on that foot wash. Wet dreamers. Oh, man.
He didn't have that dream. I did.
I did. I had that dream. Cosplaying parties, man. I know. Where's fake human with the dancing one, with the dancing where they're doing gymnastics. I love that one. There it is. I knew it. I just love it. I love it, man. It's great. It's great. I could watch this. I mean, this is pretty goofy, right? I mean, this is one of the goofier ones, right? I mean,
Sing it with me, and then you'll know. Yay!
it's so crazy. It's so crazy, man. I'm sorry. It's crazy. Is there a genre of music? No, absolutely not. They are the copyright. They are the counterfeit kings. Okay, they are the kings. Hare Krishnas are the kings of counterfeit. They just are. Even I did. When I first went to the temple, I was okay. When I first became a Hare Krishna, and I met Radha Kunda, and I met Bir Lakshman, I met Sri Maya, and I met Jaina. I met these guys. I was at that time. I was like, I'm a kind of guy. I'm kind of like a tinkering kind of guy. I like to tinker around and do like artistic stuff and do whatever. And at that time, I was doing silk screening in my garage. I was silk screening T-shirts, and when you join the Hare Krishnas, everything, your whole brain, you become brainwashed. Your whole brain becomes, Krishna. So I was like, oh, I got to make some Krishna T-shirts. So I was like counterfeit. I was making T-shirts, man, and I had a good thing going, and I stopped doing it because I was like, I became a Hare Krishna. So I was like, well, why am I doing these T-shirts? And I was silk screening T-shirts for like punk rock bands that like these bands that would play, in these nightclubs on Sunset Boulevard. I was making T-shirts in my garage, and I told this guy, I met this guy in a band. I was like, hey, you got artwork? I'll do the T-shirts for you. And he's like, yeah, I got artwork. And I was like, yeah, I'll do it for like, T-shirts and all that. And I made some money. I made a little bit of money, and I was like, wow, this could work into something. And I joined the Hare Krishnas. Done. Never did another T-shirt. And that's how they fuck you up, man. They just it's so stupid. They're the sultans of scam. They are. I swear, man. When Guru says he didn't have the dream, I did. It sounds like, how dare you steal my scam? Because I said, he's saying that in response to me saying, Lochan's saying, well, Mike said, what if he had a dream? And he's like, but he didn't have a dream. I did. It's so funny. But they're the sultans of scam. The sultans of scam. Everything is a counterfeit this and a counterfeit that. A fake Snoopy or a snake, whatever. It sounds like a child throwing a tantrum. It is the funniest thing. I just happened to tune in. I just happened to tune in at that moment, and he was going off. That was the funniest fucking thing. One of the funniest things I've ever seen. I got to get to some more of these videos. Oh, let's see. Who's this? Somebody we haven't seen. Oh, no, it's a bunch of them, I guess. Here we go. Oh, isn't that sweet? Oh. He's like, you having a good scam? Are you scamming a lot of people? Yeah? Yeah, me too. I'm scamming. Yeah, I'm having a really good scam. Yeah, okay, good. I'll talk to you later. Let me go see this scammer. Hey, scammer. How you having a good scam? Yeah, I'm having a really good scam. Okay, let me act humble. And all right, I'll see you later. Let me go over here. Hey, how you doing? You having a good scam? Yes, Maharaj. I'm having a really good scam. Okay, good. Yeah. All right, I'll see you later. Oh, you having a good scam? I'm having a great scam. Okay. All right, good. That's all they do. That's all they do is they're just scamming a bunch of gay cosplaying freaks. I know. That's all it is. Man, I didn't want to say it. Yes, I did want to say it. I did. I said it already. I said it's a friggin' homoerotic friggin' circle jerk. I mean, without circle jerk. I mean, that's what. What can I say, man? The purport videos. Oh man. Okay, let me see what else we got here. It is funny, man. I can't help it. This is my Nietzsche-nanda, man. This is my thing. This is my thing. Here we go. Oh, here we go. Some more worshiping. Let's get
Krishna Krishna.
Oh, let me give you some flowers. No, let me give you some flowers. No, let me give you. No, you shouldn't have. No, really, you should have. Okay, now let me get down on the floor. I'm gonna get down. Well, I'm gonna get down on the floor too. God damn it. Yeah, I'm not gonna let you get down. Wait, did you hear the one about the nun that went in the bar? Here, well, I can do two at a time. I can do two. You do it, then you'll know. You do it.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Sing it with me, and then you'll know.
Krishna Krishna.
Okay, let's walk over here. Do you remember where you are? Because I know you had some mental problems. I know you're having some cognitive difficulties. Do you need some time to send some dirty pictures to your girlfriend? You need to. So how's that girlfriend of yours doing? Yeah, I heard she's a hottie. Do you have any new pictures? Do you have any new pictures? Man. This is too funny, man. They say, look, Maharaj, got a few extra million. New ashram or trip to Madagascar together. I know, these guys. Hey, you want a Guru Palooza with me? Then feel racked with guilt after. Yeah, I don't. These guys, man. Okay, that was a good one. I like that one. Okay. What else we got? Let me clean this up a little bit here. Okay, and we did him. What is this? Uh-oh. Oh, look, I got a book. Oh, he knows how to hold a book. Look, he held a book in his hand. Look. Wow, Haribol. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Maharaj held a book in his hand. Okay. I don't know what to say about that one. I guess he was in China. Let me see. What else do we got? Oh, here we go. It's just not the same. It is not the same without the kids. Got to get those kids in there. I'm looking for a husband. I need a husband because if I don't get married soon, I'm just going to end up with an OnlyFans account. I got to, and you don't want me to have an OnlyFans account, so you got to find me a husband. You'd find me a husband quick. because they say every minute counts. Because I'm too stupid to think about spirituality and raising and do all those things, you know. So you gotta just hook me up with a husband, and then I don't have to think about anything, you know, and he can take care of everything. I'll sit and chant. I got my bead bag already, so I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready to get married. You tell me when, because you know me. I don't. What else am I gonna do? I'm a little girl, you know. You gotta protect me from those men. So you might as well marry me off to a man. That's so stupid. Oh my goodness. So stupid. It's disgusting. I know it is. It's just so fucking weird, man. It's just so bizarre, man. With the kids, like, what is that doing? Why are you exploiting little kids for your cult? They shave the heads of the little baby girls because they say it is. Is that why they do it? You know, I notice a lot of little girls in Vrindavan, the little girls like that have the shaved heads, and I didn't know, you know, because sometimes you don't know if it's a little boy or a little girl. They got a shaved head. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to be gender. Yeah, I'm not trying to be like that at all. But you would know it's a girl because she's wearing you know, a dress. But I didn't know. I never knew what that was. I really didn't. I really didn't know what. Yeah, I know it does. I don't. I don't even like showing. I don't even like watching them and showing them. But I don't know. Like, I don't know what it is sometimes when I watch them. But I just see like Hare Krishna kids preaching. I don't know how little they're going to be till I click on it. But yeah, it's just not. It really bothers me because I know those kids are not going to have a happy life. That's guaranteed. Okay, can we agree on that? That these kids are not going to have a happy life. I'm going to tell you right now, and they're not going to have a happy life. Okay, I got to get off the kids here. You know, they have so many stupid superstitions that you don't know what they're doing. You know, it's for protection, so that a witch can't put a spell on them. All kinds of things. Miserable life, definitely. Yeah, they're not going to be happy. They're just not going to be happy. It makes me sad. It makes me sad, and it makes me sad, and it bothers me. It really does. Okay, let me see what else I got here. What is this now? What?
कृष्णा, आप सभी का स्वागत है आचार्य सीरीज में। मैं हूँ श्री चैतन्य चंद्र दास। आज हम छोटी सी लीला देखेंगे भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर की। तो भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर जब मायापुर में रहते थे, उनके चैतन्य गौड़िया मठ में वो रहते थे, उनके बाकी शिष्य वहां पे रहते थे। वो उनका हेडक्वार्टर था, चैतन्य गौड़िया मठ। तो एक बार भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर रात के 12 बजे अचानक उठ गए और वो उठ के बाहर आ गए मठ के और रास्ते के ऊपर से चलने लगे। तो ये देख के उनके एक शिष्य जो थे वो भी उठ गए और सोचे कि गुरु महाराज कहाँ भी जा रहे हैं। तो वो भी उनका पीछा करने लगे धीरे धीरे से। तो भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर रात के 12 बजे रास्ते के ऊपर आ गए और रास्ते के ऊपर से जा रहे। ये शिष्य सोच रहे कि कहाँ जा रहे हैं गुरु महाराज, भक्ति सिद्धांत ठाकुर कहाँ जा रहे, लेकिन वो पूछ तो नहीं सकते थे, इसलिए उनके पीछे धीरे से वो उनके पीछे जा रहे थे। तो भक्ति सिद्धांत स्वरूप ठाकुर चैतन्य मठ से लेके चलते ही जा रहे थे, आगे चल रहे थे, फिर आगे जाके गंगा के किनारे तक गए। करीब करीब रात के 1 बज गया था। तो ये शिष्य भी उनका पीछा करते करते वहां तक पहुंच गए। फिर बाद में इस शिष्य ने देखा, एक अद्भुत दृश्य देखा और वो चौंक गए। उन्होंने देखा कि आकाश से कुछ दूसरे ग्रहों से कुछ लोग आए थे और वो बहुत चमक रहे थे, उनके शरीर से तेज निकल रहा था और बहुत ही सुंदर ऐसे कुछ व्यक्ति थे।
He didn't have that
30
dream. I
40 लोग
did.
ऐसे थे वहां पे, और वो आके भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर को उन्होंने प्रणाम किया, दंडवत प्रणाम किया।
You know, I just they will make up anything. They will make up anything. They will make up anything. This clown again. I don't know who that guy is, but yeah, they're all clowns. They're all clowns. Yeah, he was telling a story before. Okay, they'll make up anything. You really think that Bhakti Siddhanta went out and all the demigods came and Lord Shiva on his bull, whatever his bull's name on. He's the main one. Yeah, he was. I believe he was the first one to take it, like, you know, to really create the rules. He's like, yeah, he big fraud. Yeah, big fraudster, man. He's definitely responsible for this shit. He's definitely responsible. That's why I say he's a fuck ass. Oh man, don't even. He basically brainwashed Prabhupada is what he did. He brainwashed Prabhupada. And then Prabhupada came and got us. Okay, let's see what this one is. I know this is not going to be good.
Krishna.
This guy
My
again.
name is Sri Chaitanya Chandra Das. Welcome all to my YouTube channel.
Okay.
Today we are going to see a very special.
All right, I'm done with this. I'm done with this guy because I think he's just got a channel where he just tells these weird stories, these made up stories, and he just does this over and over. I don't need to hear from him again. I'm sorry. Let's just move on from this guy. Let's move on from this guy. Okay, here we go. Here's something I can talk about. A commercial.
But I want to say one other thing. That I'm an old man. I am not in good health. Who knows how much longer I'm going to last. And I've given my entire life, as much as I have the ability to Prabhupada's ISKCON, and it makes me so.
He gave everything. He gave everything to Prabhupada's ISKCON.
Happy. I have confidence when I see.
And they couldn't. He gave his whole life to this movement from when he was a young man. Spent 50 years or so, 60 years, 50, 60 years in this movement, distributing books, opening temples, running temples, being a GBC, and they couldn't get him any teeth. They just can't get people teeth. They couldn't get Sridham any teeth. They couldn't get this guy any teeth. And he's a GBC. And he's like, hey, can you give me some new teeth? And they're like, no. What do you need teeth for? You're not the body,
like
boo-boo.
you.
You're not the body.
This is an intelligent, mature. You put aside your personal. I mean, we all have some desires, but you have given your life to Mahaprabhu's mission and serving the devotees.
And you gave your teeth. You gave your teeth too, and you're not getting them back. We're not getting you any teeth.
I can leave this world confident that which I've given my entire life to.
And my teeth. And my teeth.
is in good hands. It's got devotees like you. You're carrying on. It's in your hands.
Oh, shut up, you scammer. And another friggin' scammer. You know, deported. Yeah, he's on a rocket. He went to another planet. He's on another. How these guys get so ugly from chanting and being an asshole your whole life. If you were covering up for pedophiles and rapists and misogyny and racism and sexism and promoting child marriage and just being the scum of the earth, you'd end up looking like this guy too. Is what you'd end up. And he gave his teeth to the rabbit. This guy, he gave his whole life, but still remained in the cult without realizing. I know. See, I think he may have realized, but it was a job to him. It was a job to him, but he didn't get dental insurance with it. It's a job, and he didn't give him any dental. I know. Imagine. You're so right. Imagine wasting your life in a cult and trying to sound as if he's proud of it. He's trying to sound proud. He's had no better witches. I've seen better. I know. I've seen better looking people in the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland. Oh my God, this guy.
And I'm sure that you will do a better job than we did. So,
they definitely will do a better job than you. Can you imagine? He's trying to convince himself that he didn't waste his life. He's trying to convince himself I did not waste my life and my teeth for this movement. I just did not. Oh my God, this is so crazy. This cult is so crazy, and it harms so many people. We sit here and we laugh about it, and it's funny, and it's like all of that, and this is harming people. It's harming people. It's crazy. It's like, I don't know. I can't take it. I can't take it, man. I can't.
Has the whole world gone crazy? Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules?
I feel bad for laughing. I feel bad for laughing, man. But I can't help it. I can't. I can't. I know. That's what it is. It's fake it until you brainwashed yourself. It's fake it until you've brainwashed yourself that you're Vedic. That's what it is. It's so funny. All right, this is a good question. The North Star is the Vishnu planet. I thought it was Dhruva's planet. I don't know. I thought it was Dhruva's planet. But anyway, the North Star is the Vishnu planet that all other stars in the universe hang from. Now it is Polaris, but in 14,000 years it will be the star Vega because of Earth's axis. Does that Vishnu move to Vega? Vishnu's got to move. Vishnu has to get up and move. He's got to U-Haul it. He's got to call Han Solo and say, hey, you got to transport my shit over to Tatooine or wherever he's got to go. He's got to transport.
Has the whole world gone crazy? Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules?
Yeah, fake it till you're Vedic, man. Absolutely. I think I'm gonna do one. I'm gonna do one more. I'm gonna do one more video. I'm having so much fun though. I love hanging out with you guys. I absolutely love hanging out with. I love hanging out with you guys. You guys are the best part of my day.
Three, four.
Oh no. Uh-oh. All right, everybody, light up your cow poo. If you have cow poo, light it up and hold it up like a lighter. You get your little piece of cow poo, you light it, and then you hold it up, and you just like, oh my goodness, what happened?
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
I can dance.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Sing it with me, and then you'll know.
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Damn, they're raving. Yeah, they're going dead. Yeah, they spiked the foot fungus smoothie. They spiked the foot wash, and they're having ecstatic symptoms.
I can dance. Boom, 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 You sing it with me, and then you'll know. Boom, 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 yeah.
They're having ecstatic symptoms, man. They are raving. Getting served. Yeah, they're getting served. They're getting getting the chanted spiked foot water. Man, they raving at a rave is Maya, but raving at whatever this is spiritual. I know. Whatever this is.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama.
Usually something like this, I seen Indra Swami do a stage dive into the crowd. Yeah, it's crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. You know what's funny? Oh, there I am again. What's funny about these old videos? You watch these videos from 10, 15 years ago, and you always see somebody that's been caught with a woman, or caught with a kid, or caught molesting, or caught something, and you're like, oh look, there's so and so, he got kicked out or whatever, or there's so and so, there's always you always spot somebody in there that did something wrong. You always. They're like those, like the tumbling Walendas or whatever. It's like circus going. I bet Jayadvaita Swami disapproves. Yeah, well, it's hard to pronounce the holy names right when you're running around stage. You can't say Nityananda correctly or Chaitanya. You can't. It's hard to say. It's hard to do the pronunciations just exactly weird. This is too funny. Boy, I see this is like.
I want to ask my questions now, and I want to have my answers now. You hear?
I have questions. I got a lot of questions about this. Like, whose Guru Palooza is this? What Guru Palooza is this, man? Moscow, 1992. Friggin' insanity. Oh, that was a good one. That was a good one. That's such a good one. I'm going to do another one. I'm going to do one more. Let's see. I don't need that. I don't need that. Okay, we're gonna finish up with. Let me see. Wait a minute. I think I might have a. No, I don't. Okay. Yes, I do. Okay, let's see this one. We got finish up with one from Tim Tim Wallace. Let's see. He sent this in, and let's see what this is. Oh, they all look so excited, don't they? All look. They look so. They especially these in the beginning here. They're so. They look so happy to be there. Every one of them. They are so excited to be sitting on the floor. Look at her. Oh yeah, she's happy. And here they come with the prasadam. Oh, this is gonna be so exciting, so much fun. I just can't wait for this. I can't wait for this yummy khichdi. Oh yeah. Let's see. Yep. Yeah, here it comes. Yeah, they're bringing it. Yeah, let me. Yeah, it's coming. Here he comes. He's got his bucket. There it is. Yeah, that little girl looks so like. Yeah, they look so excited. Yeah, I'm ecstatic. Yeah, we're so happy to be here because we don't belong here, but we don't belong here, but we're here. We don't know what we're doing here, but I belong in Moscow, back home. I don't know why my parents brought me here. Gee, it was just my luck that my parents. I was born in Moscow, and just my luck, my parents joined this cult, and now, and now I get to come here, and I get to grow up in Vrindavan. Isn't that wonderful? This is my luck, man. I took birth in Moscow, in a normal modern city of Moscow. Now, not the greatest city ever, but hey, it's a modern city. We got plumbing, we got hot water and plumbing, and we got all the things we need. And I was born there, and just my luck that my parents decided they were going to join and follow this guy around. This is my luck, and now I get to do this. Yeah, look. Oh yeah, I'm so happy. Yeah, let me. Hello, hi. Smile. Come on, at least pretend. This is pitiful. This is pathetic. Look at these kids, these poor kids. These poor kids, they belong back home in their home country, living a normal life, living a normal friggin' life. Man, I'm telling you, it is so friggin' sad. It's so sad. That's Premananda Prabhu's ashram, monks and bereft bitter women. It's just so sad to see these people. They all look so miserable. And I mean, is it possible that they said, hey, we're making a video, so when the cameraman walking around, we want you all to look really miserable. No, they didn't tell them that. They just look miserable naturally. They're just not happy. They're just not happy to be there. And I think about if you go to like a city park. If I was to go to a city park in LA and somebody was having a get together in the park, family reunion or whatever, and they're all having lunch or whatever, it'd be all happy. They'd be happy, joy. They'd be they would actually be dancing around. You know, they'd be happy, sitting around, eating.
I can dance. Boom, 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 boom. You sing it with me, and then you'll know. Boom, boom, boom. Yay!
This looks like a funeral. This looks like they just had a funeral, and now they're gonna sit and they're gonna eat. Exactly, man. That's exactly what I'm saying. Abandoning their country and their culture for this cult, for this humiliation, for this, and these kids don't know any better. And that's the sad thing, is these kids don't know any better. The kids don't know, and like you know, they're gonna grow up. They're gonna grow up like knitting cult ladies. She's like, I grew up in Brazil and Mexico, and I didn't, you know, I grew up on a compound. And I didn't even know what the real world was like until I was like 13, 14 years old. She came to the United States and normal life. She's like, what is this? Normal life? You mean everybody doesn't live on a compound? It's crazy. It's absolutely insane that these kids were born in a normal. These kids were born in a normal. In a normal situation, and now they're just thrust into this insanity, and the fangs are out. And I know the fangs are out. It's fucking insanity, man. It's so sad. These poor kids, man. These poor kids. These women too, and they're not. And like none of the kids look like they're having fun, because they don't want them to have fun. The whole idea is to be, if you're having fun, you're in Maya. You need to be either chanting, worshiping Krishna, drinking some foot wash, or chanting japa. It's like there is no fun. You can't have fun in this friggin' cult, even as a kid. You're just working. You're just working all the time. It's like, you see these videos, the kids, the kids miss chocolate ice cream and hamburgers. The kids miss everything. You see these videos of the kids are like working, you know? The kids are like the kids are in the kitchen working. They're in the temple room sweeping and mopping. It's like they're always working. It's so sad. Look, like, who's going to clean up all this shit? I'll tell you who's going to clean up all that shit. The kids are going to clean up all that shit. Look at that. It's insanity, man. Just super white Hindus, man. That's it. Just super white hit. Yeah, highly fattening. Oh, it is so fattening. It is so fattening. Oh man, it's it's fattening, but they don't give them a lot. So because they want to keep them skinny. And like the cult lady said, they do. They want to keep everybody skinny. They don't give them a lot of food. If it's a special occasion, then they give them, they can fill up. But if it's just regular prasadam, it's limited. It's limited. You get like one plate. That's kufi. I bet not actual ice cream. Yeah, I don't think they eat actual real ice cream. It's like it's got to be Krishna ice cream. I think, but I don't know because it's not ISKCON, so I don't know. I think when I said that was going to be the last video, I think I lied. I think I'm going to do one more because I This is a fun part of the show. So, let me see what else I got. Okay, we got another one from Tim. Let's see.
Actually, I was reflecting on it this morning. The feedback from the event.
Oh, look, it's a meeting. It's a meeting of the super white Hindus. All right, the meeting of the super white Hindus. Okay, everybody. The conference for super white Hindus will now come to order. Yes, meeting super white Hindu. Super white Hindu number 1, will you please start?
Actually, it just shows how when you are actually channeling power from the sun, and we're going to go into where the sun and the agents of the sun, who they are. But when you're actually power, things flow. Things flow. And the manifestation of the event we had over there in San Francisco, landmark, iconic building, right? It's called Shack 15.
It sounds like a one of these tech bro startup companies. Instead of a meeting of the super white Hindus.
And over there, you had Bloomberg, you have LinkedIn Live, you had investors, entrepreneurs, inventors, thought leaders, billionaires, advisors, consultants, bankers, corporate, charity, philanthropy.
These guys are such scammers. These guys are such scammers. The guy on the left is Radha Dasi's brother, and he is friends with Indra Yumnaswamy and Gora Tibbet. These guys are all friggin' scammers, man.
Persons. And at that event, which we had a fireside chat over there, it was interesting to see how the preparation of the event was smooth. The execution of the event was smooth. Everybody that participated.
The other guy on the right looks bored. This guy on the right looks bored. Like he's like he doesn't even want to be there.
Was excited, passionate, enthusiastic. You met the coordinators from the community. You met the corporate sponsors.
The guy in the white, he sounds like one of these multi-level marketing scammers who's trying to sell you on some friggin' multi-level marketing scam. That's exactly what he sounds like. It's irritating. It's really bothering me. Like just the way he's talking and what he's talking about. It may I want to. I don't know. I'm not a violent guy, but I want to slap him. It bothers me.
You met my staff over there at the bank, and all of the persons, the professionals from the bankers, the consultants, the human resource people, the event coordinators, they were all just excited. They were naturally, and it was so smooth.
Interested and receptive.
They were receptive, and it wasn't something that was a monopoly of yoga, or it wasn't something about religion. It wasn't a quote-unquote kirtan or arti or a showcase of this or that.
The fuck? What the hell? What the hell is all of that? What the hell is all of that, man? That was, man, I know that guy. He has an overinflated ego. Thinks he's the shit because he's banker and is because his mother and stepfather is a Prabhupada disciple. Yeah, I'm telling you, he sounds like one of these multi-level marketing scammers is what he sounds like. He sounds like he's like one of these pitch guys on TV selling a ShamWow or selling some Chippio thing for your car to fix your windshield or something. You know, call now. Operators standing by. Get the holy name. If you call now, you get the holy name. And if you act now and just send extra shipping, we'll send you the Shiva mantra too. Friggin' insanity, man. Chanting the name of a myth Smart start to become a gangster group. That's exactly what it is, man. That's exactly what it is. You hit the nail on the head. If you can chant really good and you can get, it's like a multi-level marketing. If you can chant really good, distribute books, and you got some charisma, and you can bring people in, then you're in, man. That's you're on your way to guruship. So I did find this one page, right? Okay, I want to show you real quick. So this is like Vani Media, and if you go in here and you look at this, it's got all these videos of devotees talking about Prabhupada, and you might even find yourself in there. Some of you out there might even find yourself in there. Yeah, all these Prabhupada disciples' grandchildren think they're big shots, a bunch of clowns. Exactly. They do. They really do. So you go through here. So I was looking through here, and I was like, oh, I know some of these people. I recognize some of these people because I met some of them. So I was looking through here, and I was like, oh, Dina Bandhu, I met him. I remember him. And let's see, a bunch of these guys. There's Brahmananda. Remember Brahmananda. I met him a bunch of times. Jayadwaita I met. Burijan Das, I met him. Naikatma, he was at the LA Temple for a long time. I don't know where he is now. I knew him pretty well. Naikatma. Anyway, so I'm scrolling through here. I'm looking, and then I see Ganga Narayan. I remember Ganga Narayan. He was at the LA Temple. I don't know whatever happened to him. He may have passed away. I'm not sure. So I'm scrolling through here, and I'm just like, wow, all these people, and there's Yashodananda in there, and so I don't know how. Magendra, I remember Magendra and a bunch of these. None of these people would remember me, I don't think. Or maybe they would. I don't know. I shouldn't say that. Some of them very well may remember my stupid ass. So you can go through here. You can look at some of these people. Maybe you find yourself in here if you're an old Prabhupada disciple. Maybe you're in here. There's Swavas, Gauridas Pandit Das is in here. This guy, this Nischintya, I remember him pretty well. I used to talk to him a lot, and he came on my TV show a bunch of times.
أنا نسمع نازحة من معسكر جباليا.
Yeah, it is. It's a magic mystery story gold mine for the old timers. It's an old timey.
Just before John Mastami and Vyas Puja.
But
knowing that the devotees were all going to pile in a van and go to the.
It's not all magical mystery. Some of it is their memories of Prabhupada. So I might have to make a new one.
Big festival in New Vrindavan. So they just buzzed me up, and I went there, and we're just all ecstatic. You're a new devotee, you're ecstatic. Prabhupada's coming. And I remember when Srila Prabhupada pulled up in the car and got out.
And that's basically what this is. It's all a bunch of Prabhupada's coming. That's basically what it is. It's how I met Prabhupada. How I met Prabhupada is what it is. It's how I met Prabhupada. And McGindra. That's so funny. This is like a How I Met Your Mother. It's like how I met Prabhupada. But there was one that I wanted to show, if I can find it. Nishringananda, here. This isn't the one I want to show, but.
My first sight of Srila Prabhupada was in Detroit in 1971 when he arrived at the airport.
I worked with this guy for like 2 years. His son committed suicide, and I went to the funeral. Yeah, exactly. Fake it till you encounter Prabhupada. Fake it till you encounter Prabhupada. That's pretty funny. Madhuvisa. There's Garuda Das, the crazy guy. And there's some real characters here. Maybe I can. Let me see if I can. Okay, here it is. So this is.
I remember as we were walking through from that part where he got off the plane to the exit of the airport, we were walking and Prabhupada stopped to tell Sri Govinda, who at the time had his tilak all the way back. It was just all the way back like this, and he stopped. He said, "This is not a racing stripe. This is tilak. It stops at the forehead." So that was the first instruction that I knew for sure, that how to put tilak.
So this, for those of you that don't know, so this is my buddy Radhakunda, and when I was a Hare Krishna, I spent a lot of time with this guy. We went to India together, went to Vrindavan together, spent Bangkok together, time in India, time in Badger, time in LA. Yeah, I mean, you could tell your story. Can you imagine? That'd be funny, right? Can you imagine, like, you're... So can you imagine they tell you, like, "Hey, Sri Mukunda, we want to videotape you talking about Prabhupada when you met Prabhupada." And I'm like, "Yeah, okay, I'll tell my story." And then they come and they videotape me, and I'm like, "Yeah, I remember one time Prabhupada was picking his nose, and he pulled a long ass booger out, and we all just like dove so we could get that booger and eat it. And I remember I got a little piece of it. I think Prajumna got most of it, but I got a little bit of it." And they're like, "No, Sri Mukunda, did you really?" It was like, "Really, I did. I got part of his booger." You could videotape that, and I want some royalties. I want some royalties for that story. So yeah, so this guy, he I heard every story he had probably 10 times. I heard every story this guy had probably 10 times, and he was a real character. And I kind of miss this guy. He was, for a scammer, he was all right. I mean, he wasn't all right,
as
but
we were walking,
he was my buddy,
it was
I guess.
very great that somehow or another it was arranged so that I could be right there in the very front as Prabhupada was coming and watching him dancing in front of him. And I could see the direction he was heading for. He was heading to a door that was an entrance door. It didn't, like if he stepped on the...
What's funny is... if you watch these videos, every little insignificant thing is just so important. Like Radhakund is telling the story about Prabhupada was walking, and he was walking from one end of the temple room to the other end of the temple room, and he saw that Prabhupada was headed to the wrong door, and so he went and he ran and opened the door for Prabhupada so Prabhupada could go out because the door was not going to open, and Radhakund. So that was his moment with Prabhupada, and that, to him, that's a big moment. But it's not really. I mean, like what happened? He opened the door, and Prabhupada went through the door. I mean, that's basically what happened. He opened the door, and Prabhupada walked through the door. But I can understand where for this guy, for Radhakund, that was a big moment in his life. That was a big moment in his life. He got to open the door for Prabhupada. So you watch these videos, and every story is like that. It's like, well, Prabhupada was going to sit down, but they didn't have a chair. So I went and I grabbed a chair, and I brought it over, and I said, here, Prabhupada, sit in this chair. And Prabhupada sat in the chair, and that was my time with Prabhupada. Ki Jai. That's what it's like. That's exactly what it's like. Hey, yeah, I got to get going too, man. I was just doing it a little bit extra, so I want to thank everybody for joining in and listening to my stories about Radhakund and opening the door for Prabhupada. No, I want to thank you all for joining in tonight. I want to thank Ghana and Aviator Lochan. You're doing good work over there with Gora, with Dreamer Pod. You're doing the Lord's work, okay?
He didn't have that dream. I did.
So, and then I want to thank Rafael, Booger Ananda Swami. I know, and Jolynn and Tim. Thanks for sending in the videos, man. And I want to thank you for stopping by. And it's always good when you're here. I miss all you guys really. When you're not here, Jenna Morton, and Duke of Squirrels, and of course Tim again, and Fake Human, man. It's not the same without Fake Human. Fake Human and Eliana. I miss Eliana. I hope she's okay. I hope you're feeling better, Eliana. And your dad. I hope your dad's good too. And Weird Planet. Can't forget Weird Planet. Who am I missing? Am I missing anybody? I don't want to miss anybody. I really don't. Esdra Barreto. So I knew I was missing you. So I wanted to get you in there too. And then just for that, we got a little. All right, everybody. So I want to thank you again for joining in. Please like, share, and subscribe. It's always great when you like, share, and subscribe. So thanks, everybody. I'll see you next time. Everybody have a great day, great night, great morning, great afternoon, great evening. If you're hungry, have a great brunch. Have some great luck. Everybody stay out of a cult. And this is the part where you get to see me as a Hare Krishna a long time ago. Thanks, everybody.
Are we clear? Yes, sir.
Are we clear?